For some odd reason, there seems to be a mass movement of people being told that they can have zero idea what being a copywriter is and then overnight build a six-figure business. Take this as somebody with the brain. There is not a single business on this earth that is easy to build, especially one that is going to give you an extremely high salary. It just doesn't work that way. If you want to be a copywriter and think for 1 second that it will be extremely easy to build and that overnight you can know nothing and then have this big successful business, or that it's just a fast way to make money, I don't think you'll be happy with the reality. Hi, my name is Daji. I'm a website copywriter and brand messaging strategist for CPG brands. And I'm going to de-influence you from being a copywriter. I'm going to really talk about the realities of building a business as a freelancer. And then you'll be able to see for yourself if this is something that you would like to continue to pursue. Number one, there are so many different types of copywriters. So yes, there are industries and niches that are much easier to get into than others. And the thing about being a freelancer, a copywriter, if somebody hires you, they want you to be an expert in that industry. They usually want you to specialize in whatever they're hiring for. So it's very rare that you'll have a background in, let's say, finance, and a wedding photographer wants you to write their website. It's gonna be like, you don't really know much about the industry, you don't understand the lingo, how to communicate to my type of customer, so I don't really know if this will work well. So just keep in mind, it will be harder to get work as a freelancer if you are not a specialist in something, okay? Especially if you want to be one of those freelance copywriters that are charging thousands upon thousands of dollars for projects. People are going to want a specialist if they're going to be charged an absorbent amount of money. It's literally the benefit, and that's literally the benefit of hiring a freelancer, because they're an expert in X, Y, and Z. Client acquisition is a full-time job. And it's funny because literally this morning I saw someone talk about people want to be a designer until they realize you're just running an agency. It's full-time sales and acquisition and X, Y, and Z. So I'm like, that's literally what it's like being a freelancer, whether it's a copywriter or not. You are an entire agency in one person. So if you think I want to be a copywriter just so I can write copy, that is a very small fraction of the business, especially in the beginning when you don't have incoming clients on an ongoing basis. Constant pitching, it's constant building relationships with either potential clients or adjacent industries and adjacent people to build a network. And if you're smart, in the beginning, it's a lot of blog writing and Pinterest pinning, okay? You will have to spend time around the clock getting yourself out there and building a successful and sustainable business. For me, I do it through social media. That is where I find my clients are. That's the place where I thrive the most. So I am active on every single social media platform on a daily basis. If I'm not posting every single day, I'm interacting with someone every single day. So I had to build systems that allowed me to do that without burning out. So keep in mind, you're running an agency. You're not just going to be copywriting. You're going to be running a full-blown agency by yourself. Speaking of running an agency, as a business owner, you're going to have to learn tools and systems and apps and programs. Like, you will have to be an expert in some type of project management system, whether that be a ClickUp, a Notion, Monday.com, I don't know, Trello. You will have to figure out a way to manage all of these projects. You will have to figure out operations. You will have to figure out a way to communicate, to your client. So you have to think about the client experience, the client interactions. How will that work when you guys have call? Will you work Zoom? Will you use Google Meet? How will that work? How often do they get access to you? Do you talk to them every single day? How many rounds of revisions? How are you going to communicate all that? It's a lot. Did I or did I not say that the copywriting part is a very small fraction of what you're going to actually be doing on an ongoing basis? Then you have to stay up to date with the industry. Just because you learn something once doesn't make you an expert forever. So you will also need to spend time, maybe on a weekly basis, getting up to date with things that are going on in your industry. So you can be up to date when it comes to your clients. Like, hey, this is what's happening. This is the direction I feel like we should go to your copy because of X, Y, and Z. You need to be able to back that up, okay? So if you choose a specific industry to write copy for, you have to know what's happening at all the time. From the emerging brands to the legacy brands. It just kind of works that way. You have the time for that ongoing education. This This one, I don't think y'all gonna want to hear, but it can actually take years to have consistent clients. And what do I mean by that? I mean, when you're at a point where you are booked out months, where you don't even need to post on social media all the time because your website is working for itself. People are just finding your work. People are just running into people who are just searching things naturally or asking for recommendations. You're just popping up. It could take some time to get that momentum up and running where you don't actively have to be like, hey, I'm booking clients, hire me. You know what I mean? So are you willing for it to take maybe 2 years for you to get to that point where it's like, no matter what, you're always going to have a client on at least every couple of months? Like, is that something you're willing to do? I hope I didn't scare you, but I hope I instilled the realities. And if this was kind of like, okay, I feel like I can get this going, but I need a little bit more insight. Luckily for you, I did an entire video on if I had to start over my copywriting business again in 2026, I would do this.